I was fired for refusing to share my hotel room with a male coworker. Now the company is begging me to come back. The email arrived at 10 p.m. just 3 days before our biggest conference of the year. Dove to booking constraints, we've had to adjust room assignments. You'll be sharing with Mark from Get Development. I stared at my phone in disbelief. Mark was a new hire I'd met exactly twice. The company had never asked employees to share rooms before, let alone with colleagues of the opposite gender. I replied immediately. There must be a mistake. I am not comfortable sharing a room with a male coworker I barely know. The response from our travel coordinator came minutes later. Unfortunately, the hotel is fully booked due to the conference. We need everyone to be team players. Mark has already agreed to the arrangement. I couldn't sleep that night. As a 29-year-old woman traveling alone, I'd always been careful about my safety. Beyond that, the request felt fundamentally inappropriate. I wouldn't be able to change clothes, make private calls, or even sleep comfortably knowing a virtual stranger had access to my room at all hours. The next morning, I spoke with my direct manager, Lisa. I understand budget constraints happen, I explained, but I can't share a room with a male colleague I barely know. I am happy to pay for my own room if necessary. Lisa's expression hardened. Exclamation. Elsa's making sacrifices for this conference. The company is under financial pressure and we need team players right now. This isn't about being a team player, I replied. It's about basic privacy and safety concerns. Are you suggesting Mark is dangerous? She asked, her tone suddenly defensive. Not at all. I am saying I have a right to privacy regardless of who the colleague is. By that afternoon, the situation had escalated to a jur. Their solution was equally shocking. I could either share the room with Mark or pay for my own accommodations per not just the difference for a single room, but the entire cost of a new booking, which would be over $1,800 for the 4-night stay. This feels like punishment for setting a reasonable boundary, I told the AR representative. We're simply treating all employees equally, she replied. We can't afford separate rooms for everyone. I later discovered that the company's 3 male executives all had private rooms booked at the same hotel. When I refused to back down, I was told not to attend a conference. The following Monday, I was called into a meeting with HR and informed that my inability to be flexible and failure to be a team player were grounds for termination. I was stunned, but refused to sign the severance agreement that required me to waive all legal claims. Instead, I consulted an employment attorney who was equally shocked by the situation. Within 2 weeks, my attorney had sent a detailed letter outlining multiple violations of labor laws and workplace protections. We didn't even need to file a lawsuit. The company's legal team reached out immediately to negotiate. Yesterday, 6 weeks after my termination, I received a formal apology letter from the CEO, an offer to return with a 20% raise, and confirmation that they've implemented a new travel policy explicitly stating that employees will never be required to share accommodations with colleagues of the opposite gender. I haven't decided whether to accept their offer. What bothers me most isn't just the inappropriate room sharing demand, it's how quickly they labeled me not a team player for establishing a reasonable boundary. My former coworker Emma called last night to tell me that the company has suddenly become obsessed with respecting employee boundaries and creating a safe work environment. Fraternally, my termination has become a cautionary tale in management training. Sometimes standing your ground costs you in the short term, but creates change that benefits everyone who comes after you. And sometimes the most valuable professional skill isn't being a team player, it's knowing which games aren't worth playing at all.